Hello, and very happy to see you on our channel. Today we give you a piece of breaking news from British news magazines. Meghan Markle irritated the Queen for her wedding day, revealing the financial situation of the Sussexes. How long was Meghan Markle's veil? Meghan Markle's veil was 16 feet long and made of silk. She had 2 page boys help hold the veil as she walked into the church. I initially thought Meghan chose the veil because her dress was simple and unadorned, but now, after watching Meghan in action since 2017, I think she knew the Queen thought Meg shouldn't be wearing a veil. This was Meghan's second marriage, and Queen Elizabeth thought a veil was befitting a bride who had never been married before. I think Meghan decided to put the Queen in her place in an "I'll show you" moment, and instead of wearing a nice veil that ended above her Givenchy dress, Meghan went for an incredibly long veil. This wasn't even cathedral length. This went far beyond that. I think Meghan chose the length of this veil to irritate the Queen of the United Kingdom, and Meghan's blatant disregard for the likes and desires of Harry's grandmother and monarch was on full display. I know, hate me. But that look the Queen gave Markle was pure loathing. Why? I often wondered what Meghan had done, and I think she was being a spoiled little brat even at Harry's first wedding. It should have been all about him. Maybe it was. Catherine Middleton's veil was a fingertip-length veil, and she wore her veil over her face as she entered the church and her wedding. One last wave as a commoner. The veil after the marriage ceremony. The tiara was gorgeous, as were the earrings gifted to her by her parents. Princess Beatrice and her veil, another fingertip length, beautiful. Princess Eugenie wore no veil because she wanted her scar from her scoliosis surgery to be visible, in hopes that it would offer inspiration to others who face that same daunting surgery. I so admire her for that. Lady Diana Spencer not only had a very long veil, she had an incredibly long train to her wedding gown. Princess Diana's wedding train measured 25 feet long, and her veil is listed as being 153 yards. That seems too long, but I keep looking at it, and that's the figure given. Diana also had custom-made silk shoes. Her gown was made of taffeta, and her tiara was the Spencer tiara, which was made in the 18th century. The veil looks shorter here, but Diana did not swap veils on her wedding day, so I think we're seeing the part of the veil that covered her face, blowing in the wind. She was such a beautiful bride. Princess Anne was a gorgeous bride too. Just look! She wore the tiara her mother, Queen Elizabeth, wore on her wedding day, and subsequently, Princess Beatrice wore the same tiara this past summer. Called the Queen Mary's Diamond Tiara, it looked stunning. So beautiful, and look at the neckline of Anne's dress. And I forgot to add Prince Edward's bride on her wedding day, Sophie Rhys-Jones. And Princess Margaret wore the Poltimore tiara with a beautiful veil. She wore a silk organza dress which was the style of the 1960s. Wonder if this princess had an impact on wedding dresses? Then Princess Elizabeth on her wedding day in a silk dress bought with ration cards in 1947. Now that's a veil, but the train was longer at 13 feet. The flowers are part of the princess's dress, while her veil is on the right in the photo below. Pearls are a particular favorite of Queen Elizabeth. It's fun to see the royal brides on their wedding days. I think every tiara has perfectly suited each bride, and their dresses are beautiful. At the top of the list of concerns about Meghan should be the absurdly expensive wedding and the undeserved virginal accessories. There was no reason to have a wasteful wedding like that for a minor royal or a run-through Meghan. I did find it odd that since Meghan had married before, she wanted an over-the-top royal wedding that cost more than Prince William's wedding to Catherine, complete with a veil and pure white wedding dress, which isn't the norm when women remarry again. But then again, Harry memorably said it best, What Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Now, what are some of your thoughts on the financial situation of the Sussexes? Thoughts on the income and massive deficit of the California Mountbatten Windsors. If Prince Charles gives them, let's say, £3 million per year, that's £250,000 per month. If he gives this to them in monthly payments rather than one lump sum, which in my humble opinion is the correct way to do it, their monthlies still leave them with a huge, ever-growing deficit. The Mountbatten Windsors are desperate for liquidity. Hence all these nickel and dime schemes, the email scam of Archwell.com, renting their house by the hour, and the various shady shifting of funds here and there between a charity and private enterprise. The Mountbatten Windsors have between them the financial sophistication of a gnat. Who is orchestrating these extremely complex financial shenanigans? .org versus .com? These different foundations, nonprofits, charities, for-profits, etc. The shifting of monies from one entity to another? The inexplicable disappearances of monies? The lack of transparency in every financial aspect? Plus the big elephant in the very small room, that pesky upcoming trial which is already becoming a money pit with losing one aspect already. You remember, paying out around £75,000 in costs to the defendant, plus their own legal eagles need regular sustenance too. Technically, they won one case by being issued an apology and a portion of their legal costs from the defendant. In other words, they came out in the red. That is not the manner in which one makes money. Please do not bleat about their so-called combined wealth. Mr. Mountbatten Windsor's monies are tied up in trusts and investments. Read, not liquid assets. His income from these amounted to about £300,000 to £400,000 annually recently. But with the economy tanking, that income will be sharply reduced according to financial experts. Mistress Mountbatten Windsor's income from royalties, investments, and residuals would probably be in the $50,000 to $75,000 range. Their paychecks from speaking engagements are not the windfalls they expected. Otherwise, we would have been assaulted with details leaked by friends or SCOBY. Just where is the money coming from to float their very leaky boat? Not Prince Charles, in my humble opinion. Prince Charles is just not that liquid, and if he was selling off investments such as stock, etc., someone would suss it out fairly quickly. The obvious source of the monies is the one constant factor in the rise of Mistress Mountbatten Windsor's Soho House, watering hole of the rich and famous. With the new proliferation of very minor income-producing sources, the angel may have started limiting his or her support. So who is the financial wizard orchestrating all of these sophisticated schemes? How many more schemes are out there about which we know nothing? And just who is the angel backing the Mountbatten Windsors? By the by, anyone else noticing the crickets from Netflix? The only noise of support for the Mountbatten Windsors is the incessant angry buzzing or worshipful adulatory chirping from their online court and its attendants. Note the .com of Archwell, nonprofits generally use. Why not theirs? With all of their expenses such as PR, legal fees, security, mortgage, nanny, living expenses, etc., I do not see any way they can be staying afloat. But then with the old reports of deliveries to the house and potentially having it listed as a flip to double their investment, do they really own it? And are they living there? I thought from the beginning their intention could be to flip it since they acquired it at a low purchase price. Harry said that he did not want to become a U.S. citizen, and then there are tax implications, more lies and deceit. We have new woke videos with Harry only, but then there is an article claiming that they are raising Archie in their forever home. It is all very strange. I guess we shall wait and see how it all plays out. Everything seems such an utter mess. Are strings being pulled by behind-the-scenes financiers? In which case, why the random wasting of money and reputation? Or is the bounteous one managing all of this by herself, with all the PR people just happy to make money off someone they see as a fool, easily parted from said money? And how about you? What do you think of Meghan Markle irritating the Queen for her wedding day? Please let us know in the comments section below and discuss them together. And as always, come back to our channel for all the latest news on royal family, Meghan and Harry right here. Thanks for watching and see you next video. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Bye-bye.